Hello, my darling friends, and welcome to the Off the Grid Farmstead. Now, this was supposed to be coming out on Friday, and then also it was supposed to be coming out on Monday, but I'm just way too hot at the minute in my office. I cannot breathe in my office, so I'm going to probably struggle doing this voiceover as well. Main reasons being the UK is going through a big heat wave at the minute. You've probably heard about it if you were in the UK. And you probably know about it. So that is why I've been struggling to get this out. So apologies for that, my loves. But here it is. And my audio is probably going to be a bit crispy today too. Main reasons, I've got my fanny out in my office, loves. And it is wafting all over the show. So the audio may be a little bit crispy. But I can't do anything about that. I don't want to be sweating my face off while I'm trying to record this video and do the voiceover. But anyway, hello. Welcome to this build. This is the off the grid farmstead. It is exactly as it is in the name. It's I would say like a modern looking farmhouse sort of esque shaped building. Maybe it could have been an old barn or something, with lots of areas for your Sims to grow veg, keep smaller animals like bees and stuff. Obviously we've got cottage living coming, don't worry. I'm going to be doing some other farm builds very soon as well. But I was just like, I haven't done an off-the-grid build in a hot titty minute. So this is exactly what this is. It's completely off-the-grid. I've made sure to use all of the off-the-grid items. And yes, it's here. I'm very glad that it's here as well, because trying to do this build in that heat last week, I was struggling, loves. I was very much struggling. So I'm going to have to apologize this week if like videos are a bit lackluster or they're a bit shorter and whatnot. Don't worry. I love the heat. I do. I love the heat. I do not like the heat when I'm inside. And I'm inside. My office is the hottest room in the house. It's at the back of the house. The back of my house is south facing. So I get the heat in here all day. I've got fans on and a little tiny aircon unit that I bought off of Amazon, and it's absolutely shit. So I might struggle this week. And the same with streams as well. I have let people know that streams might be a little bit shorter than normal. Main reasons being I just can't sit in the office for too long with a big gaming PC. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Don't need to go any further and be a typical British person and go into any more weather talk. But you get what I mean with that. So this is the main farmhouse. I made sure to get the main shape of the house down first before I went on and kind of like did the gardens. Now the gardens are the majority of this video because they took so long to do. And not only did this build take so long to do, it's the fact that it took so long to play a test because there are so many crops and plants and stuff. I had to make sure that they were all growing right, and there's lots of different levels with terrain manipulation, so I had to make sure the Sims could get down there. So it was just a long process, this build, and it's not even that much of a big build, to be honest with you. And then right at the end of the build, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it. And I was like, I don't care. Get it up now. I am get it up. So here it is. And you know what? I don't mind it now. I don't mind it. It was a very difficult build as well to like photograph for a thumbnail and whatnot. And I'm not usually that kind of like person where I think about the thumbnail before I do the build. I think about the layout more than anything. But this one was very difficult to, photograph for the thumbnail. So I struggled a bit with that. I really did. I very much struggled. So yes, hello. Welcome to a brand new week on the channel. I know we're starting on a Tuesday and I feel very naughty about that. You do have another video coming today as well. I do have another Let's Build the World video coming. But you need to remember that that might be a little bit shorter as well because I just can't stay in my office. I can't stay in my fucking office. It's bloody boiling. And I did say that I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. But yeah, here we are. Here we are talking about how hot my office is. Anyway, so you could obviously, I wanted to have this big sloping glass roof / window into the farmhouse that you were just seeing just a minute ago. Main reasons being, I kind of got inspired from Earthships. I don't know if anybody's ever seen any of these Earthship builds out there. These houses that are kind of very self-sustainable, very eco-conscious. They make their own everything, electricity, the lot. So I kind of got inspired with that. And with these earthships, what I usually see are these kind of like slanted windows that kind of like bring in the sunlight, keep hold of the heat, but they've also, I don't know, I just really like the look of them. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them before. Go and have a look online, loves. They're bloody delicious. They really are. How have your weekends been? I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. Mine was nice. Just chilled out for most of it, to be honest with you. Took my drone out flying just to sort of test it out and get used to the controls and whatnot. That was fun. But it was too hot. I literally just said we're not going to talk about that. But we are. I think I recorded in my garden yesterday because I got a thermometer in my garden. It was 37 or 38 degrees Celsius in my garden yesterday. Very warm for me, darling. I'm not into that. I love the sun, but I'm just going to retract what I said. We're probably going to talk about the weather quite a bit in this, loves, to be honest with you. To be honest. But oh well. Anyway, look at us, look. We'll start in the gardens. I love those trees that I use. Well, that tree that I use that has disappeared. Love that tree. I think it's from the Star Wars pack. I could be wrong in thinking that. But I do think it's from the Star Wars pack. But I can't quite remember. You guys may know better than me. But I think it's lovely. These here are cherry trees. This is like a little cherry grove that I wanted to do. One thing that pissed me off with this build was the fact that the trees, all of the kind of fruit trees and stuff that I'd grown, I plonked down looking lovely and all overgrown and stuff. And then as soon as I went into no, it's not live edit. As soon as I went into live mode, all the trees were just reduced down to piles of dirt, and they are in season, because definitely make sure that when you do place this house, if you do want to download this from the gallery, put it in summer, because all of the crops are summer based. But I thought the trees were going to stay fully grown, but they're not. They grow back down to bloody seedlings. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have to play the game until the trees have grown. But I was just, again, I'm not going to say it, but I was very, very hot. It's like I just couldn't sit in and play The Sims. I really, really couldn't. Far too warm, darlings. Absolutely not into it. Anyway, so this is a nice cherry grove. I end up, like, where I'm putting the grass now, I end up making an opening going through there, so they can walk in from the other side as well. And I have this as like a little barbecue area, really. So your Sims can still come in here and get the cherries off the tree. But I end up going for a little barbecue area in here as well. Just they're like surrounded in this like little cherry grove tree moment. And I thought that was very nice. Indeed. And I use all of these lovely grass bits that your Sims can walk through, by the way. And I end up pushing them down with the tool mod as well, because they were just floating a little bit. And I get some flowers here too, and some bluebells. And it just looks, I wanted this place to look very organic. That could be the proper word for it. So I wanted it to look very natural. That goes for all of the terrain manipulation, the landscaping. I just wanted to look very nice. And I think it looked nice towards the end. I really did. But I still look at it and think, oh, I could have done a little bit more with you, to be honest. One thing I really wish that I did do was make this into a bit more of a one-bedroom house. I only made this a one-bedroom mezzanine kind of leveled house. I really wish I made the house a little bit bigger and went for like a 3-bedroom. Main reasons being, there are so many crops that it is quite hard for 2 Sims to just look after. So I will pre-warn you on that. It's a lot of work to, weed, blah, 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 blah. So I really wish I did make it a little bit bigger, to be honest. Now, these windows where I'm putting the ivy on here, I end up doing something different with them. I end up opening them out. I don't remember if I recorded or not when I was doing that. But I put like 2 walls on a diagonal and make it look like the kind of windows that open. I really prefer the look of it, but you might have seen that in the video tour at the beginning. But yes, and I wanted a little seating area out here as well, considering it's at the back of the front of the house, sorry. I did want a space where your Sims could come and sit out on the patio. So I put those table and chairs over there as well. And I just surrounded this house in greenery as well, which is, I don't know, it's got a nice vibe here. It's got a nice vibe here, and I do love doing these kind of off the grid-esque houses. Yeah, this one was no exception, even though I was struggling quite a lot to try and get this finished last week because do you know what? Because do you know why? Because it was hot. Yes, what you would like to know that. The weird thing, I'm going to talk about the weather again. I'm going to do it. I am. I said I wasn't, but I'm bloody going to. We had our first ever, I think it was very severe weather warning for the Southwest and Wales as well. So I'm in the Southwest, I'm in Devon, obviously. Never have we ever received a very severe weather warning. So that's how, that's how well we're doing down here at the minute. Yes, we are. And people will probably laugh at us like, ha ha ha, 32 degrees is nothing, but darlings, in the UK, we're not used to it, babes. And we're all sat sweating in thick-walled Victorian houses or big granite stone. Do you know what I mean? Some people are not. They've got newer builds and whatnot, but I don't. I've got an old house and the walls are granite, and and I'm slowly baking, and I'm not for it. So this little pathway off to the side here, I really hated the look of it. The more I was looking at that terrain painting, I was like, ugh. So we end up changing it, and I forgot to record it. So I put, where you can see off to the right now, I put like a little wall on that side with a hedge to just try and hide a bit more of it. I just wasn't enjoying it, really. This little patio area out the front here is mainly for them to, they have a clothesline, but they've still got veg and everything out here as well. I made sure to do veg, fruit, herbs, everything really, and just mix them all around. Just have a few places I've kept to specifics, like there's a dedicated like little tomato growing area. There is also I'm trying to think off the top of my head because I did this last week, and I can't, so we're just going to leave that. We're going to leave that, and we'll wait until we get to that part, and then I'll know what we've done there, won't we? Won't we indeed? So yeah, this build did take a long time. It did absolutely take a long time. Main reasons being there was a lot of terrain manipulation, a lot of terrain painting, and also a lot of player testing. As I said before, there was just a lot of player testing with this house to make sure it run nice. I just really wish that the trees stayed there because it just makes the lots look so much prettier. And I tried I think it was like 3 or 4 days. I don't know how long the trees take to grow up to full. But I played for about 3 or 4 days and I was speeding through as well. I was just like, do you know what? I'm too hot. I'm just going to have to leave it as it is and crack on. I really am. So that is what has happened. Yes, it has. Yes, it has indeed. This is obviously the front part of the house as well now. So what I'm doing is getting those hedge of dreams. Those hedges are from the live edit mode. They're from Get Together, and I use them absolutely everywhere. And a lot of my builds, I just really like how natural they look compared to the other hedges. And I'm for it. So back to the back of the build, end up putting a little fence up at that moment up there. Main reasons being, I just wanted to look a little bit more staggered and tiered down. And this is a little avocado grove. See, we're at the point where I know what I'm putting now. So this is just a few little avocado trees on this point here. Look how much nicer that looks when they're fully grown. For goodness sake, I was fuming when they were not growing, and end up bordering this little bit here with that nice object from Get Together. Yeah, Get Together. I always forget where that's from, but I use that so much, and I just find it's nice to like border anything that you want a little bit more detail around rather than putting like one of the fences and stuff there. And I just found that worked, and I really liked it. Really did indeed. Now this little area here, I'm gonna have to think now. This is just another little like crop growing area that I wanted a little raised bit of terrain up to. And I think I grow a mixture of stuff in here: bell peppers, tomatoes, spinach. I don't know what else we put in there, but quite a lot actually. That's probably crammed full the most. And I don't know if there's a bug or something in the game at the minute with the crops, but my crops were all evolved and they were all very lovely. And then I came back to them and they were like down to like little mini seedlings again. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, do you know what? I haven't got time for this. I haven't got time for this. I need to get this build out for all these lovely humans that are waiting on me, rather naughtily waiting on me. I do apologise again, loves. But you know what? I was up. I was absolutely up. So I couldn't record. So yeah, mixtures in there. I think blackberries is why I think I end up putting in blackberries. So this is the cherry grove. This is where I said I really wanted to get a little walkway coming through here. So I end up making a little clearing between the hedges and then connecting in the pathway into the little cherry grove area. And I just really like how that looks. I really like how it sort of like seamlessly goes together as well. In my head, the two Sims that were living in here, very eco-conscious, growing all of their own fruit, veg, crops, what have you. This would be perfect with Henford on Bagley, cottage living. It really, really would, because you could have your own cows and whatnot. But I'm going to go and build a completely different farm when the actual pack comes out. So be on the looks out for that in the next couple of weeks. I really wanted to get it done for this Friday, but there is no way in hell I am sitting inside and doing a speed build this week. I'm very sorry, but that is just not happening for me because I was sweating, loves. So yes, that is not happening. Do apologise for that, but I just can't. I really cannot. Really cannot. And I'll always be 100% truthful with you guys. If I can't be up to recording or doing something, then I will let you know. I will let you know. But yes, this is that look. I just love how cute that little picnic bench in here looks. I do put a few planters around here as well. I end up putting some tomato plants in them. And then we put a nice little barbecue. Had to move the barbecue as well because the barbecue set fire. It didn't set fire to anything around it, but it just set fire to itself for some reason. So I had to push it back into the hedge a little bit more. And yeah, it sorted itself out and it doesn't cause any fires anymore. That's why it's so important to do your player testing, loves, because you could be giving this build to lots of lovely people and then it could go up in flames. And we don't want that, darlings. No, we do not. So this is a smaller little section that I really wanted to do, mainly to grow flowers in. So I did some, I put the flower arranging table in this part, and also lots of planters for your Sims to grow flowers and stuff in. So there are very much different sections to this actual lot itself where you can get different things happening. I did make sure to use a lot of the eco lifestyle. Is that what it's called? Eco lifestyle, yeah. Eco lifestyle stuff like the wind turbines and solar panels and stuff. So this lot should come without any utility bills, but that's never worked for me when I've tried to do off the grid stuff before. I've always had to do bills for some reason, and I have no idea why. Don't know if that's a bug. Probably is, but could be my own derpiness as well, coming in tenfold. But yes, still looking nice though. The more I'm looking at this build, the more I'm like, do you know what? Actually, I do quite like it. The more I'm doing it, I think it was just that I was so frustrated and annoyed with how I was feeling when I was building this. I think that's what was all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now. Where did that come from? I have no idea where that come from, but you are absolutely welcome, darlings. So, as I was saying, the Sims that were moving here as well, imagine them to be a bit like of makers and stuff as well. So I put some candle making stations in here, even though I really don't like them. I just hate the gameplay that comes with them. The fact that you've got to rummage through bins to be able to make candles and whatnot. Like, really? I thought I put loads of beehives down so they can make 4 of them as well. 4 beehives. I thought they could collect the beeswax from that and make candles out of them and stuff and just buy the dye. But it just wasn't working for me. I don't know what was going on. No idea what was going on. But I ended up putting 2 of the stations down here. I would imagine maybe the Sims living in here have got like an online business where they do a multitude of things. Sell their own honey. You know where I'm going. Like a proper farmstead that they might even have their own farm shop or something. But yes, and 2 little dew collectors as well. Really do not get the gameplay from these either. I don't get a lot of the gameplay from Eco Lifestyle, to be honest with you. It was a pack that I greatly enjoy for the build and buy objects, and I think the gameplay is just it's not for me. I think it's to be honest with you, I think it's dull. I think it's dull and easily forgetful. I mean, I think I played it once. And did quite a lot of the things through it, and I just got bored of it, loves. Did just get bored of Eco Lifestyle. Don't know about you, but you'll have to let me know. after letting me know. So this little area here is under that canopy that came with Eco Lifestyle. I think I liked the industrial aspect of it. And then I end up putting in 2 of the wind turbines. That I did make my sim fully upgrade as well. So when you do download this lot, those 2 turbines should be fully upgraded. So you don't need to like fix them all the time because I know that they break and whatnot. So yes, there we go. So I just wanted to separate the area off a little bit because there was quite a lot of industrial elements on this bit, or what appears to look like it, with the water thingy and that industrial kind of canopy. So I end up putting in some wildflowers, and I like the juxtaposition between something very industrial and kind of nature. I think it just looks nice. And yeah, there we go. Stunning. Using these lamps everywhere as well because they work off the grid. And then inside I end up using some candles and stuff that I make hang from the ceiling and whatnot. But yes, very nice to Jade. Very nice to Jade. So around to the front of the house, this is where I end up putting in a natural pool. So I really wanted to put in a natural pool around here. I'm just going around with the hazard tape so your Sims won't walk straight through the hedge. And end up putting in a nice little natural pool here. And you guys have seen this being done so many times, so I don't really need to talk about it. But yeah, pool. Looking forward to using the pond tools. This would have been a perfect lot for pond tools. But I will say, the pond tools are great, and I'm so glad we've got them in. You guys know I've never been, well, I thought I was going to be a huge fan of The Sims 4 kind of like terrain manipulation, but I just don't think it works very well. I think it's just a bit janky. You can never get it looking perfect. And with the pond tools, there's only so much you can make ponds. That's it, really. I was really excited because I thought, oh, maybe the Sims could like swim in them. They can't swim in the ponds. And I really wish they could. I really wish that there was a way that we could have the Sims swimming in the actual ponds itself rather than just having it as another decorative piece. Do you know what I mean? But the one thing I'm looking forward to is the fact that it comes with new water textures. I'm hoping those water textures work on swimming pools as well, so we can have more natural looking swimming pools with like lily pads and kind of like algae on top of it and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping for that. I'm praying for that. And I'm absolutely here for it. Really am. So hopefully that happens. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Oh, God. Oh, it's very warm. See, nearly half an hour of me talking about shit. And I'm dying. Absolutely dying, I am. I was going to use the green kind of natural looking water. But I still wanted the water to look more clean. Like the Sims would like swim on it. Because if I saw a water that was dark green, there'd be no way in hell I'll be jumping in there. So I used a different one. And then I end up littering this whole place in this grass that I do move down with the tool mod, by the way, just in case you were wondering. And I think it looks nice. I do. I think it looks very nice towards the end. And I'm completely here for it. But yes, lovely. I've kind of run out of things to say, I think, guys, and I'm really, really struggling trying to talk. I really am. So I think what I'm going to do, and I never do this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you now. And I'm just going to play some music over the last portion of the speed build. And I'm going to go and jump in the shower and have a cold shower. To try and cool myself down. But you'll be seeing another video from me today anyway, and that will probably come a little bit later on after this one. So look for that. I'm going to leave you with the final little bit, including the interior of the speed build. Thank you so much for watching, my darlings. And I will see you all later on for Let's Build the Worlds. Goodbye.